Welcome to the podcast series Talking Success, connecting the global FinTech community. I'm Catherine Brassell, and today we look at Nigeria, and I am joined by Felix Ike, who is the co-founder and CTO at TeamApt. TeamApt are digitizing South Africa's economy by building financial platforms for businesses and providing them with all the payment, banking, credit, and business management tools they need to succeed. TeamApt have Nigeria's largest payment distribution network with over 200,000 businesses onboarded on their platforms, Moniepoint, Monnify, and they are processing north of $6 billion monthly.
Hi there, Felix. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. How have you been?
I'm all right. Hi, Catherine. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks. And how's the week been so far?
Well, it's been productive. We're here. Today is Friday, so
it is indeed.
Looking forward to the weekend.
It is indeed a Friday. We like to call it the Side FinTech Friday, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But let's kick off, and we'd love to hear a bit more about your personal career journey, what got you involved in the startup space at quite a young age, and really just what you're passionate about, and really what drove you to the TeamApt adventure.
Okay, thank you. So I think my story started as far back as my days in the university. I was studying computer science at the University of Lagos, and I was supposed to, take some programming courses, but I was just hungry to build. Okay,
Yeah.
So I wasn't patient to wait for the courses to come. So I went out to learn how to program even before we started the courses. This was driven by the simple desire to build something, but I wasn't even sure what I was supposed to build. So I started programming, and then over time I got involved in a couple of ventures with my friends, although most of those ventures didn't make it out. But the experiences I gathered, participating in these ventures actually exposed me to my first job opportunity at InterSwitch. And this was where I met with Tosin. Tosin was actually the first person I worked with on a project at InterSwitch, and this marked the beginning of the rapport. I noticed that we both had this similar drive to want to build something. We just wanted to solve problems. During the period while I was there, we used to come to the office maybe during weekends to work on stuff that we thought would be useful within the company. So the friendship and the relationship continued that way until around 2014 when he preached the idea of TeamApt to me, and it was a no-brainer to me. Like, it was an instant sell. I still remember the conversation vividly. We were taking a walk around the office, and he was trying to, make me see reasons why I should join. I didn't waste time. I didn't even tell him, let me go and think about it. I instantly said, okay, yeah, I'm interested. I think this is a good idea. And there were a few reasons why it was attractive to me. The first was, okay, so you get to be a part of something that can potentially be bigger than you, right? Second is, the person you're working with. I had so much confidence in him then, and I still have it now. So if we're going to be successful, I knew working with this guy would get us there. So that confidence made it easier for me to make that decision. Now, the last part, the other third reason why I jumped on the idea was we get to solve problems. We felt like there were some sections of the market that were really neglected. And we felt like, being a smaller company, we could cater for such customers, right? So that was exciting, being able to build something and also solve problems that will have impact. So, and that was how the journey started. The rest, they say, is history.
Talking about, solving the pain points of customers, how are you guys at TeamApt optimizing the customer experience and really sort of tackling these pain points?
Okay, yes. So I would have preferred to start from the beginning because we've serviced different kinds of customers up till now. When we started initially, we were targeting banks, and the pain points we saw then were optimizing their backend processes. So we built products that were supposed to solve this specific problem then. One of the products then was Perfectus, which was supposed to be like a robotic process automation tool that would help optimize their backend operations and make them really efficient, right? Now, the Moving forward, around 2017, 2018, we pivoted into agency banking. And in this market, within the agency banking market, agents are our customers, right? Before we got into the market, there were already some players, some key players who were really doing well, right? So we had to identify some of the pain points that these guys had so that we could provide solutions that will meet them at the point of their needs. And after analyzing the market, we understood that some of these agents, they had similar complaints about some of the frameworks or the platforms they were using. When you go to an agent location, the common complaints you will hear will be network is not good. And to them, network not being good simply means they are not able to carry out their transactions, or maybe their transactions are failing, or maybe when they have issues, they don't have an easy way of complaining about their issues and getting it resolved. So we decided to tackle this. Okay. And the first thing we did was to build a platform that would give them the confidence to carry out their transactions with little to no hiccups, right? That was the main pain point then. And we also built a framework for supporting these customers so that if they have issues, they should have an easy way of complaining and getting it resolved without waiting for so long or getting frustrated along the line. There are a couple of other things we did, but these are some of the key things we focused on, to meet these customers' needs and then got us into the market.
Let's talk a bit more about the TeamApt mission, just to give us an idea of what you've personally come up against, what have been some of the highs over the past few years. It would be great to hear a bit more about that.
Yeah, so at TeamApt, we have this mission statement that says we're out to provide financial happiness, right? And there are different perspectives to this statement. From our customers' perspective, speaking about the agents I mentioned earlier, agents are just businesses, so to say, right? And there are a bunch of other business owners out there who may not necessarily be doing agency, but the whole idea is to focus on these customers and provide them financial happiness. So the question is, how do you provide financial happiness to a business owner, right? One of the easiest way of doing that is, first of all, identifying what will make it easy for them to run their businesses. Because the easier you do your businesses, the more money you make. The more money you make, the closer you are to financial happiness. Okay? So, so what we're trying to do is target these businesses and identify some of the areas that they are really underserved and then provide solutions for such areas and get them closer to their dreams of becoming financially independent. Now, we've had a lot of testimonies, unsolicited testimonies from customers who would say, hey, guys, because of Moniepoint, you have made it easy for me to do my business. Because of Moniepoint, I'm able to run my businesses and I'm doing really well. I watched a video of a woman who was practically praising the product. It was a very fulfilling experience, so to say, seeing that the product you're building is, touching people to by, making such an impact. Now, the other perspective to financial happiness is looking at it from the employee standpoint, because the success of a company really is a product of the kind of people you have,
agreed.
right? And when they make such impacts, they should get rewarded for their efforts. So, from an employee perspective, beyond them seeing the impact of what they are building, them getting rewards financially or otherwise to show that, dude, or hey, guys, this is what you're doing, and this is the result. And if everybody gets those kind of rewards, you're closer to becoming financially happy too. So that's what the whole idea is for us. We structure our products or our business execution around this simple mantra where we look at who are our customers, what do they need, and because we want to provide financial happiness for everybody, how do we do that? And the moment we identify all of this, we then execute. What we've come to understand is the moment you have value, people will pay for it. And the only way to create value is to know what people really need and then build solutions around it.
Yeah, no, completely agreed. And I mean, it's curious for me to just ask you, how did TeamApt carve their niche within such a competitive market, in your opinion?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, it's all about identifying what the customers needs, right? Once you have an idea of what the needs of the customers are, it becomes easy for you, a lot easier. Let me not say easy because it's not easy to execute. It becomes a lot easier to, you know, uh, provide value and carve a niche for yourself. When we came into the industry, like I said earlier, people were already within the ecosystem. They're already key players and they were doing well. But for us, innovation is not just about coming up with a new idea. Sometimes it's as simple as looking at an existing system and making it better, right? So when we came into the system, we saw that some of these businesses, especially the agents that we started with, they had a need to have a trusted platform that they could see as partners in running their businesses. And the only way you could do that is what do you need? Asking the customer, what do you need to run your businesses efficiently? And then we did that. We understood that for them, they just want a very reliable framework, a very reliable platform to run their businesses. We provided that. The next question is, what else worries you? What do you want to do? What else can we do to make life easier for you? And in asking such questions, we found out that they need a way to solve their problems when they have issues with that platform. Even though the platform is very reliable, there are times when they'll have issues, or maybe a customer comes to do transactions with them and it fails, and they need to support that customer. They want to be able to have a reliable way of resolving such issues without prolonging it and frustrating both them and the customers. So we built a framework to make that possible. So today, if you walk up to an agent location, one of our customers, and you do a transaction and you have issues, we proactively try to resolve it even before you complain, right? So that the customer will get value without coming to the agent location. But if it is not within our powers to resolve it instantly, the moment the complaint comes in, we try to make sure that we resolve it within 48 hours, within 24 to 48 hours, right? So these are some of the things we put in place. There are a couple of other things we did, but these were some of the key things that we put in place to make sure that the customers, in this case our agents, are very, very comfortable using our platform. And that, builds confidence into them to the point where they even reach out and recommend the platform to other agents. Today, we've not really done any marketing. Most of our growth has been organic. People walk up to us and say, hey, I need your terminals. And that's because of the way we've positioned ourselves within the industry, because of the fact that we looked at what the customers really needed and then we built for that.
Yeah, no, I can completely hear you. And let's talk a bit more about you as a leader. You're obviously growing your teams. You guys are expanding. How would you say, talking a bit more about your core strengths as a leader? How are you motivating your teams? How are you driving performance at TeamApt? And what is, really, what would you say is your core strength as a leader?
So I'd say personally, I have a very simple lifestyle. And for me, it simply means if you're going to be doing anything, make sure you do it excellently well, right? Whatever role you're playing, whatever responsibilities that have been put on your shoulders, make sure you are the best at it. The reason why that is important is when you are the best at what you do, over time, people will see you as a reliable person and they will have confidence in you. It's easy to grow in any environment if you're seen as a very reliable person. So from my early ages, say from my days in school up to now, that has been my guiding principle. So whatever it is that is put in my hands, I put in everything I have into it to make sure that I give out the best. And within TeamApt, that has also been some of the key factors or key principles guiding how I interact with my engineers. I've been guided by a very simple mantra, right? Or a simple principle. And the principle is simple. If you're given a task, if you're supposed to do something, if you have responsibilities on your shoulders, make sure you give your best at it. Like give it your best shot, right? Now, the reason why this is important is if you do your best every time, if you always try to give out an excellent result every time, over time, you have a pedigree that will automatically have people, people would have confidence in your ability to deliver. People will believe you to be reliable. And that, they say the reward for good work is more work.
Yeah.
Joking
Yeah.
about it. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So when people see that you're reliable, more responsibilities will come and you grow more, right? Now, beyond this, there's also the aspect of being reasoning from first principle. This is one of the key aspects of my lifestyle, not just depending on what you see, trying to understand things beyond the surface, right? Trying to understand how things work under the hood. Now, the reason why it is very important is when you reason from first principle, right? It's easy for you to dissect complexities, right? And when you are faced with a problem that you haven't solved before, it's easy for you to dissect it to the principles or the basic components, and then you can build it up and come up with a solution that would, incorporate the abstractions that make that problem complex. Along the line, you come up with a more efficient solution because you understand how things work. You're not just, shooting blind. So within TeamApt, we call this technical depth, right? Being able to know things deeper than they should be known, beyond the surface. And this is one of the key values that we have at TeamApp also. Within the engineering team, it's known that you need to be technically deep to survive at TeamApp. Beyond the engineering team also, you also need to be technically deep in whatever area that you work in.
That's great, Felix. Thanks so much for that. Looking forward to this year. I mean, what can listeners look out for in 2022 with TeamApt? Can you just run us through a few of the exciting projects on the go and really just what's on the horizon this year?
Yes. So 2022, I think, is going to be exciting. We started with businesses. Agents are businesses. Now we're expanding our offering to accommodate other types of businesses. So we're basically building financial solutions that will target businesses, help them run their businesses, accept payments. This is a target for us. And we're not just doing this within Nigeria. We're trying to, capture other African countries. The whole idea is to become the go-to platform to run your business as a business owner. So regardless of the kind of business you run, we want to build a platform that will make it very, very easy for you to carry out your businesses and meet your customers' needs. That's simply what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Right. So,
and there's a lot of businesses obviously across Nigeria or across Africa, but everyone sort of works for themselves mostly. So I can imagine there's a huge demand and need for the service.
Exactly. That's the point. The point is the market is huge and it's barely scratched. So that's why it's exciting to us. We like this kind of problems.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we're really excited to watch you guys over the coming months, watch you guys grow. I remember you mentioned that you were launching a business bank. How is that looking at the moment?
Yes. So having dealt with agents and seeing the kind of transactions they could pull off, it was a no-brainer for us to evolve into a business bank, right? And the whole idea is to target small and medium-sized businesses and provide solutions to them. And so far, we are making progress. Our products are getting ready. I would say I wouldn't want to let the cat out of the bag yet.
Of course.
But we're making significant progress, and within a very short period of time, you're going to hear some very interesting announcements.
We like interesting. So yeah, we'll be watching with bated breath. And tell me, Felix, if any of our listeners would like to get hold of you, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Oh. Okay, so
don't be shy.
No. So I'm actually pretty terrible on social media. Like I have little to no presence on social media, but I think you could send me a message on Instagram or Twitter. My handle on Twitter is do I even remember? Ike_Felix. Yeah, that's my handle. Yeah, so you could actually just shoot me a message, and I think I'll respond. Hopefully.
Brilliant. Hopefully. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Felix, and just wishing you a great weekend when it kicks off.
Thank you so much, Catherine, for having me.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode, Talking Success, connecting the global FinTech community. Please follow us on LinkedIn under Talent in the Cloud, or if you're interested in exec talent, expanding your FinTech team, or you yourself are looking for an exciting change in your career, please check out our website, talentinthecloud.io.